Welcome to the More Than Fitness podcast.
And we're good. Hello. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Minisode number 26 on the More Than Fitness podcast. And now I'm basically just playing dress up. I have, for the listeners who aren't watching the video, I am in a camouflage jacket right now. But I had an epiphany moment with the Hawaiian Shirts. And I'm going to cover this real quick and then we're going to move on. With the Hawaiian Shirts, I wear the Hawaiian Shirts because it makes me feel loosey-goosey. It makes me, it just brings good energy. But the thing is, if you make that the norm, so if I start wearing the Hawaiian Shirts just to wear them, just because I'm doing a minisode, then the effect is dampened. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of tainted because if you always do something, then that becomes the new norm. And I don't want to do that. So basically, I'm just playing dress up now, and I'm going to be wearing different things. Maybe I'll bring back Hawaiian shirts sometimes. Maybe I won't. I'm just going to go by feel. And I know you guys probably couldn't give two shits about what I'm wearing. However, for me, it's a weird thing that I like to do to get me in the right headspace. And for today's minisode, I decided to wear the military garb because today's minisode is going to be mental toughness advice from a Navy SEAL. Okay, as you guys know, some of you know, I am a big Joe Rogan fan. Shocker, white male, 26, big shocker. I'm a Joe Rogan fan, and he recently had on a guest that's on there quite frequently. His name is Andy Stumpf. He is a Navy SEAL. He is now, he's still a Navy SEAL, but now he is an instructor and helps out in the military through that. But him and Joe are friends. He also does some he doesn't do like skydiving. He wears like the suits and does the like free basing, I think is what it's called, or some crazy shit like that. But he does insane stuff on top of also being a badass Navy SEAL guy. But he was recently on Joe Rogan's podcast, and I'll make sure that I link that episode in the description. But he talked about something on there about their BUDS training. But their BUDS training is basic underwater demolition and SEAL. So that's what they call BUDS training. It's 24 weeks of just really difficult training, basically, to become a Navy SEAL. And you're put through it, basically. And he talks about how to deal with that time, how he helps other people get through that time. And like I said, now he is an instructor. So obviously he went through BUDS training himself and had the firsthand experience. But now that he is more experienced and things like that, he is now an instructor to the other SEALs or the people or the guys and girls who are becoming SEALs. He gets to be an instructor. And he said one of his favorite questions that he likes to ask all of these students who are going through it, he likes to ask at least the ones who quit, right? So to be a Navy SEAL, like you can't just be some brute person that doesn't have any intelligence or anything like that. Oftentimes the people who become Navy SEALs are very intelligent people. So you have these guys or gals that they could have left some like D1 scholarship at a college or something. They had this very bright future, but then they gave it up completely to come and do SEAL training. And then some of those people who gave up everything, they end up quitting, right? There's some people who they can't take it. And so Andy, as an instructor, he asked them, he said, what, you gave up so much to be here and to have this experience. Why did you quit? He wanted to know why they quit. And he said the answer that I got time and time again simply came, they said that they were overwhelmed. They said they got overwhelmed with all of the pressure from working with their team, from the mental pressure, from the physical pressure, and it's just so taxing physically and mentally. And he said the ones that gave up, they said they got overwhelmed, which is surprising, right? And he said, one of the things that really helped me get through that time, and the thing that I like to tell a lot of the trainees, is to make your world small. And this advice, make your world small, was something that really hit home with me. And because I'm always looking for something that's practical, but also makes sense from a macro scale. So make your world small, meaning the reason why they get so overwhelmed is because they're thinking about every little thing going on in their experience. But if you make your world small, basically he asked, like, can the individual ignore the big and focus on the small? So this is one task after the next task. And he was talking about he was like, the one, what I would try and do is I would just try and make it to my next meal of the day, right? He said, I knew if I could make it to my next meal, I'd be in good shape. So he wouldn't think about the entire training, right? The entire 24 weeks that they're there. He would just try and make it to the next meal. He said you could look at it two ways. He said Navy SEAL training is about 180 days long. So you can look at it as 180 days long, or you can look at it as a sunrise and a sunset 180 times. And I thought that again, it just puts it really into perspective for you. And whenever we're going through, this coronavirus and things it basically feels like Groundhog Day, right? We're waking up, for some of us at least, we're waking up kind of doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, and possibly in the vicinity of our own household, right? With the same people. We're seeing the same people over and over and over again, and doing our work or whatever it is that we do on a day-to-day basis. And this can, after you stay home for almost a month now, some of us are going a little stir crazy, right? And it can be overwhelming, especially whenever you see on the news or see the experts and they're like, yeah, this could go on for months, right? We have no idea how long this could go on. Hopefully sooner rather than later. But that can also be, right? Like that can be taxing on our mental health during this time. Things are scary, they're uncertain, and it's overwhelming because we don't know what the future is going to look like. So if we can take the advice of this Navy SEAL, of Andy Stumpf, and try to make your world small and just focus on today and your next task and your next task and your next task, day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute even. Do whatever you need to do, but make your world small so that you can get to the very next day without going crazy. Sometimes you've got to take a step back, take a couple deep breaths, reevaluate things, because it can be overwhelming, especially if you're reading the news or something, getting anxiety, seeing all these negative things, and then also maybe you just got laid off. I just had a client that said that his roommate is going to have to move out because he was unemployed, and so that's making him pick up the slack, and he was really stressed out about that. It's like there's real shit going on, but getting overwhelmed, getting scared, being afraid, and just not making your world small, failing to make your world small can be detrimental to your mental health, your physical health, and it can keep you from getting shit done that you need to get done. So I hope that advice is helpful. Whenever I heard that, make your world small, it was really helpful. And hearing it from someone like a Navy SEAL, who also is an instructor and helps out the trainees going through that difficult time, it can be very inspiring. So next time you get overwhelmed, just remember, forget the big, focus on the small, and you'll be okay. Take a couple deep breaths. What is the next thing that you can do? What's the next best thing that you can do? And then do that. All right, guys. It's a short one today, but I hope it is helpful. Take that advice, and again, keep grinding it out. Keep doing what you can, day by day by day by day. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. We will get through it, but for now, we got to keep pressing on. Okay, as always, thank you so much for listening and for watching. See ya.